I had to
This
upgrade,
is
boy.
big.
You know what I'm saying?
Is this
What's good,
bigger than
brother?
Instagram Live?
Yes, sir. I had to get out of there, man. What's up, my brother?
I'm blessed, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm good. I mean, I don't want to put you in a spot at all, but I feel like you're probably one of the best people. Anything when you do with contracts or contract stipulations, I don't know why you're the first person that pops to my brain, brother. But wow, your thoughts, man. Everything that's going on for the last 2 hours here, brother.
Yes, it's kind of weird, bro. Because I really can kind of empathize with both sides of it. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, I don't think there's really a who's right and who's wrong type situation here.
All right.
You know, like I don't think it's cut and dry. Um, you know, obviously, when speaking on contracts, I'm one of the kind of first people that people holler at because I mean we're going on. I think my first contract offered to me from URL was 2016 or 17.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going on like 7 years of like me being offered contracts from them, you know?
Right.
And every single time the contract was artist development, 2 years, third year option. And I was always like, nope, 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 you know, for a few reasons. One, I work full time, got a degree, make money. Like I don't need battle rap. You know what I mean? Like I'm a little older. You know, I enjoy being an independent freelance artist, and I just don't like people telling me what I can and can't do. You know, and two, because there was no guarantees. You know, it wasn't like 6 battles, 7 battles. You know, 10,000, 15,000, nothing like that. So I'm just like, I'm cool. I'm cool doing what I'm doing. You know, but I understand from an aspect of like these guys that came in, and if we're keeping it a buck, there was no buzz for Eazy the Block Captain before UM1.
Okay.
You know, there was
All right.
like nobody was really checking for Eazy. Nobody was like he wasn't, you know, a hot commodity out here on the market, you know, like Loso or B Dot or A Ward or some of us that like kind of came into URL with like our own big following, like kind of
Okay.
like everybody watching us. So, you know, when you're investing into a battler like that with a company, you know, now from what it seems, I don't know a lot, but for what it seems is that those guys that came in on UM1, that they locked them in on some long term type stuff, some 5 years with
This
a
some
6
old
year.
90s NBA basketball when you get Kevin Garnett a 10-year contract.
Yeah. Now, mind you, they probably did that because, like, if they're just locking normal guys in on 2 years with a third with no money guarantees, these guys actually have a possibility of making $25,000 by winning a tournament, and they're guaranteed, you know, guaranteed few battles because they're doing the battle. If they lose, they turn around and they battle as a one off on the next one. You know what I mean? So, like, there's probably a reason why they offered them longer contracts.
Right.
But if you're looking at it from URL standpoint, they took a risk on like however many guys it was. I don't remember if it was a 12 or 16 man tournament. They took a risk, and guess what? One of them popped off, and one of them became a star.
Right.
With URL's help. They helped build him. He performed great. He did great performances. They gave him the plates, and then like, if you just like say, you know what, I'm not gonna hold you accountable. This is a contract. I'm gonna go let you go do whatever you want. How does that protect their locker room in who's the next star? They can just say, oh, I'm just gonna go do what I want when I get big enough too, you know?
Right.
So it's like I don't fault them, but it's also a lose-lose because he's such a fan favorite that in the court of public opinion, like going out of your way to like sue somebody when you're like a multi-million-dollar business, you know, looks crazy. So it's a real kind of a lose-lose, but it's a situation where I've heard in interviews Eazy say I'm not on contract. I'm guessing URL drops this and says you are on contract. Only thing I can assume is that Eazy looked at his contract and said, there's loopholes, he can get out of this, gave it to his lawyers, and his lawyers was like, yeah, this ain't legally binding, you're good. You know, and that's why he's communicating I'm not on contract. And then URL saying, nah, there ain't no loopholes. This is legally binding, and watch this. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna see what happens.
Wow.
But yeah, it's tough because it's also like giving Eazy more and more power. You know what I mean? It's like it's actually like just to see them go to the lengths. You know, I remember Geechee at one time went over and battled on King of the Dot, you know? And everybody was like, yo, what's going on? Like, Geechee's a star. He went over to King of the Dot. And I think I remember the narrative or the even, I don't want to use narrative. I think I remember like, yo, Geechee owed them a favor or something like that, you know? So he talked with URL and they was cool on it or whatever, you know? But But for Easy to kind of just go do this Hitman battle and then kind of just go off on. I mean, sometimes I like the man. I like the Bull's confidence. I like his. But he kind of just been poking the bear. He kind of just been going at him. And not just like chilling on some like, okay, I'm doing my own stuff. He kind of been really like getting crazy on at URL. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't expect this to happen. You know what I mean?
Wow. Were you able to read the whole contract at all? Were you able to look at it?
Yeah, I read it all. I read about the torturous interference. I read, there was another page. I don't know if you saw it, and it looked like it was dated May 5th, where they communicated with whoever they sent that email to, like, hey, you shouldn't be using our guys that are exclusively on our or affiliated with us. I think it said affiliated or exclusively, which affiliated with URL. I mean, that's pretty much everybody but me. Like at some point in time, everybody's affiliated, right?
Yeah.
Um. So So that kind of puts him in a position where it's like, yo, did you know ahead of time that they were really gonna like go OD on you for booking these battles with these guys?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you looked up. I did. I looked up the lawyer the URL's lawyer.
Yeah, you guys are smarter than me. That's why I want to talk to people like you. Continue, sir.
Because I'm like, I want to know like the legitimacy. Like if it's lawyer versus lawyer, we need to know. We need to know who's and like the
Right.
URL lawyer. Like low key, he might be the Lodi, bro. He might be the LOTY. He might be lawyer of the year. Like I seen some of his stats, bro. His impact, his strength of schedule, his performance. Like I ain't gonna hold you. URL sending in one of them ones.
Right.
when I
Right.
looked it up, they said he did some stuff for Eminem, for Chris Brown, for like he. So
Remember now, Beasley was in the music industry at one time.
Mm,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I didn't know
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah, he was. So you know what I mean?
So yeah. So it's just you hate to see it because we at battle rap you don't want it to get messy, but like I said, I empathize with both sides. I don't understand how URL could just not do anything at all and
Mm-hmm.
still protect the investment that they have. Easy went on to say like that they only had about 25% of what he is today, and I'm sure they sitting back like, God, that's a slap in the face, you know what I mean? Like, and so I just don't know how they could have sit back and just played it neutral and still like protected. Like, I mean, they got Crucible guys right now, that are driving all over the place. They paying scouts, they doing all of this stuff or whatever. They're building, what they have, and it's like, all for what,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And it's kind of like, so I'm not mad at it, but I mean, I did think it was a little weird that it was dropped via like a third party. I thought maybe like URL would just post it on their Twitter or something like that. I'm like, like third party releases this information or whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just thought your third party releases this information. Like, I don't know. I don't know if like, just the way that it's being going about publicly is necessary, but I mean, it is what it is.
Am I to think that this is more like URL saying that either you come back to URL and finish off your contract here, or we're going back to court? Am I right on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically them saying, and I believe they'll honor it. I think that what they're doing is just a pride power move of saying, like, yo, we make the decisions for battle rap. You know what I mean? Like this, they've always felt like that. It runs through us. They've
Mm-hmm.
always felt like they want to be the monopoly. They want to sign everybody to the exclusivity contracts. They don't want competition. You know what I mean? They want to be the end all be all of it, right? And so
I
that's
don't like
pretty
that.
far.
I hate
I
that
don't.
so much. I don't like that. But
I don't either. It's like the idea of you walk by, you got a bunch of weapons on your tool belt. You don't need no more weapons, but there's a weapon on the ground. You pick up that weapon, right? So that
yeah.
somebody can't use it against you, right? You don't need it, but well, I'm gonna pick it
Mm-hmm.
up so that somebody can't come use it against me, you know? And so that's how they operate. They're like, oh, I'm gonna sign this person, I'm gonna sign that person, I'm gonna sign this person. Not necessarily because I have use for you. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
sign you so you can't be used against me, you know what I mean? And so it's pretty par for the course in regards to how they're operating. Everything goes through us, so they're just saying like, "Yo, come back over here, fulfill your battles, fulfill your thing." You know what I mean? And after that, you can rock. Like we no hard feelings. Have at it. Um, but there's just some things that is a little foggy for me, like the Danny Meyer situation where I don't necessarily know he's under exclusivity contract, and it's like they you know kind of use him to like send a message to. That was kind of like to
I
me that
didn't.
was kind of
I don't like that war because here what happened.
he got his
Y'all,
name got drugged, bro, for no reason.
yeah,
Like he's the GOAT, and he had to make a decision that was not even necessary, but he just got caught in the crosshairs of this Eazy and URL stuff, you know.
And then he's by himself, and they're not even there with him while he's getting crucified by the culture. He's like by himself. Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, it's not our fault. Go ahead. You know, like that. Ah, man.
And if we keep it in a book, if they really probably paid and booked Danny Myers like he deserved to be paid, he probably wouldn't even have to go out here and battle every 3 weeks.
Right. Good point. Good point. So, do you think at all this has anything to do with Remy at all?
That's another weird dynamic, because you know, at first it was like this is my sister, this, you know, whatever, you know, the relationship was all, and then Remy attaching herself, not even just by booking that battle, but then I guess becoming like exclusively his managing artist, you know, a manager or whatever, different things like that. Got nothing but high praise for Remy, you know what I mean? Like
Absolutely, I
she's
love
nothing
Remy.
but,
Absolutely.
yeah, she's, you know, out of all the league owners I've ever done business with, you know, she's up there, and you know, just communication, business, everything, you know what I mean? And so, you know, Eazy's got he's definitely got a good one on his side, you know, in her. But yeah, it definitely is it's weird, bro. It's weird because I mean, if you think about in hip hop, like, I mean, you would say probably Remy has more leverage than Smack, like just in the hip hop culture,
I would
right?
say that. I would say that.
And so, like, if all of a sudden, like, you know, this whole messy lawsuit stuff like that gets to Joe Budden podcast, gets to all of these bigger things or whatever that is very accessible to people like Remy Ma, you know, then it starts looking a little bit more ugly maybe for URL.
What's your take on this loophole talk? Was a loophole for Eazy?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not well versed in you know that. Like I said, I've seen I mean, I've seen the contracts they sent me, you know, and like, you know, I remember the first one they ever sent me. Like, I sent to, you know, one of my lawyer friends, and they were just kind of like, yeah, it's a legit contract, you know what I mean? Like, boom, boom, you know, like, you know, you sign it. This is what it is. They let you. I think the 3rd year option was they have to let you know like three months before the end of your second year, and like it's up to them to keep you on or whatever. So like, I mean, they said it was pretty thorough when that was 6-7 years ago. But I wonder if that loophole was just like I'm gonna do what I want to do, and they gonna finally just give it a rest because, you know, they like they're not gonna look good in this going after me. You know, I wonder if that was just the whole goal. You know, but the one thing about Eazy, man, is like I applaud the fact that he just keeps working, bro. He just put his head down and keep working. Put on a crazy good card, you know, had a whole battle, you know, got all kinds of other stuff going on or whatever. He just put his head down and keep working. But, you know, behind the scenes, like, money runs everything. So, you know, like you could dry somebody out real quick by just continuing to take them to court over and over and over and over for stuff. And I'm not trying to count nobody's pockets, but I'd like to believe that URL's got enough money to keep you in court for for as long as they want.
So he was under contract to what, 2025?
It was 25 or 26, I think it was.
Yeah, 26, I believe. 26.
Because I think it was like 5 years with a 6-year option, and I think that it was probably signed right before UM1, you know. So, and I think that was pandemic. That was pandemic, you know, time. So it's like
they caught him at the right time. They caught him at the right time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. And like you said, we're talking about Eazy, but you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would assume that all of those guys like had to do the same thing, you know. Now, mind you, some of them have fell off, and URL just does not care. They don't care, you know. They're not checking for. They don't tell. And I'm not trying to just throw anybody under the bus or whatever, but like, I don't remember who I was a part of that. It was maybe like Big Hand or whatever. Was he a part of UM1?
I believe he was. Yeah, Big Hand. Maybe, I believe he was.
Okay, so let's just say a Big Hand or whatever. Like, he go over and do. They not about to sue Big Hand. You know what I mean? Like, for going over and doing the RB. You know, like they know, you know, who they want to go after and they don't. You know. But one thing they just don't like is they just don't like being embarrassed. You know, and nobody does. So, you know, you come out and you got Eazy Hitman. It's like, oh, we couldn't put that event on. And then you see 1,500 people in Sony Music Hall. Then you see this, I mean, battle rap going crazy. And it's just like, we look embarrassed and we look like we got competition. Like, and it's like, now I'm out for blood, you know?
Do you think it gets this far if Eazy tells URL, me and Hitman are going down? And Eazy doesn't take shots at them frequently.
Yeah. If he doesn't take shots at them and stuff, I don't think it gets as publicly messy. You know what I mean? I think that they're just kind of playing on the same field. I mean, he's been doing podcasts and blogs and all kind of stuff where, you see it pop up every day on some new Hip Hop is Real 15 Minutes Fame or his own channel or whatever, you know. And part of that is the genius behind him marketing. Like, one of the
Yes.
things people don't realize is that me not doing a URL battle, when I talk about it, it gets clicks. When you see a caption, it's like A Ward speaks on it, whatever, it gets
Absolutely.
clicks. And
Absolutely.
and like being the guy that's not on URL is almost better than being the guy that's been on URL a couple times, And so like
That was hard.
that whole, him going crazy like that or whatever, and doubling down on all of it has increased his following, increased his attention. He's getting money off the YouTube, all that good stuff or whatever. So it's working in his favor there. But I do wonder, like part of me wonders, like he has some guys around him like Tay Rock, he has some guys in gun. Like if anybody has ever just been
Does
like,
he
hey,
really
bro,
know? Does he have Tay Rock around really though?
I don't know. But I'm just saying these gun titles. I wonder if like he's had any of his peers that are really like loyal to the soil, being like, hey, bro, like you really kind of wilding, you know what I mean? Like, like let's settle this like man, But also, guess what? Like 2.5, 3 years is not really a long time to form like a loyal relationship. He's a very quick new star. We're not talking about somebody that like that Smack and Beasley has like done life with. You know what I mean?
Okay,
There's some
right.
of these guys, some of these legend guys is like, I will never talk ill on URL because when I was just starting out, they gave me the platform to be me. They pay that
Right.
homage. Eazy was there a couple years, did 10, 11 battles. I don't know how many it was, and then and it bounced. And it's like I don't know how his friendship or relationship with them, if it's so strong to where he's like, nah, I gotta mend this. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is just oh my God, man. Whoa. So I feel like signing a contract doesn't even being on the contract or not signing the contract doesn't matter if you're on URL.
Yeah, it's weird now because I mean, obviously these Crucible guys and guys that are getting opportunities and stuff, like they're going to be offered contracts, and so they're going to look at it now and be like, do I really want to do this? As just in regards to what it is. I mean, URL still probably the highest paying league. For 99% of the guys, if you're not, the upper whatever, it's they got more opportunities. They're doing more events and everything like that. So like the contract for certain people, like if you're coming in and you're not really known, it's like, yo, why not? Go give them 2-3 years. You know what I mean? Like that, I don't see why you wouldn't sign the contract if you're like an unknown kind of person with no buzz. My whole thing was always like, I'm already bringing what I have to the stage. You know what I mean? Like we gotta talk different.
Wow. Give me 1 second, Ward. I'm just trying to see something. I don't know. Give me 1 second here. Yeah. Yeah, man. This has been a wild man. Ugh. What do you think? Is URL? What could both sides done better on both sides in your opinion? What could have done better on both sides?
I think Eazy could have probably well, I think the only thing Eazy could have done is just not do the Hitman Holla battle. Guys go leverage battles all the time. They go over and they say, "Oh, I'm about to book this," and then tell, communicate with URL, "Hey, they about to book this over here for this amount." Boom, boom, boom. I think Eazy was probably operating like he had some like leverage and freedom, and URL is just thinking like, you can't do it like Goods and them does it. Like they go over there and they come back and say, well, RE's gonna do it. You know what I mean? And then it's like, all right, well, it's always a haggling game in battle rap. But I think they were probably looking at Eazy like, yeah, I don't know why you're talking to us like that because you're under contract and you're gonna do what we want you to do. You know what I mean? So I think with Eazy, he would have just had to not take the Hitman battle, and he would have had to just keep going. I mean, they were giving him crazy good plates. I mean, the man, they put him on a flyer beside Mook's name. You know what I mean? Like they literally were going to give him Murder Mook. Like what? Like took Gucci like what 6-7 years to get Mook. Was taking Eazy like 2.
Yeah, man. What about Eazy? What could he?
Yeah, like I mean, I think URL could have. I don't know. Like I said, I empathize on both sides, and I see why it's messy because Eazy went public with his blogs. URL's like, cool, we're gonna go public with his documentation or whatever. Like it really probably was just gonna either have to just be Eazy just fulfill his contract and battle like URL wanted him to battle, or it was gonna get like this regardless. Maybe if you do less public stuff or whatever, you can do it more behind the scenes, but like outside of that, like it was gonna be there regardless. He's a star. And he's like,
Absolutely.
because part of you thinks this, right? One of the things about URL is like, yo, we create stars, right? Like it, like we put out stars. We put out more stars than anybody else. And so you want to say, well, okay, if you create stars, just create another Eazy. You know what I mean? Just get another one. You know what I mean? Like, why are you so bent on, Eazy the block captain? If it's more the machine and not the battler, you know. Um, but like because he's a star, bro, and because he has the ability to kind of like, I mean, I was trying to do it, but I was trying to be like show like, hey, you can create lane for yourself in battle rap without having to use URL. And I mean, I think I have. I'm kind of the exception though. I'm not like a follow my process because it don't work for everybody. I'm a bit
Absolutely,
of an
absolutely,
exception,
absolutely.
and I think that Eazy got to the point to where he's like, you know what, like if I stay under URL, it's gonna my career is gonna always be like, oh, that they made him into this. You know what I mean? And he's like, yo, there's an opportunity here for me to disconnect myself from it and show that I can be this, without their help. And that's always just gonna burn a bridge.
Or do you feel like he's under contract with all the things that's going on? You guys have these contracts, you know better than me. After seeing what you've seen, do you feel he's under contract still, or what is this? I'm confused with that. What?
It just strictly depends on the legitimacy of that contract because I feel like he signed a contract, you know,
Mhm.
and I don't think he's ever said I didn't sign a contract because I think that URL probably has complete proof that he signed a 5-year contract with a 6-year. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, with that being said, if the legitimacy of that contract is there and it's binding, then yes, he's under contract. But I wonder if there has been something on the flip side, with his lawyers saying, hey, this, that, boom, boom, boom. And he's like, look, I've been communicated by my legal counsel that I'm not bound to this.
Mhm.
So in his mind, he's not under contract. In URL's mind, he's under contract. And the only way we're gonna know who's under contract or not is through the court system to say, yeah, you know what I mean? Like you signed this and this is a legally binding contract.
Do you think whoever he battles next, whether it's on RBE or Chrome, does that could jeopardize his next opponent's battle?
Yeah,
Jesus,
definitely.
oh
I mean,
boy.
because here's the thing though. Because I mean, Easy's not just battling nobodies, right? Like, I mean,
Facts, absolutely, absolutely.
the person that he locks in with next is gonna have to factor in the cost. They're gonna have to factor in the cost that they are entering into a battle with somebody that URL is currently suing. That person, unless it's me, has been affiliated. You know, so hey, actually, it's easy. Yo, holla at me, bro. Like now that I'm thinking about it, holla at me, Easy. Look, you want just a clean cut,
Right,
holla at me,
right.
man. Like that'll be my opening line. They can't sue me. You know? No, but like anybody that he locks in with is gonna have to make that decision because they probably have been affiliated with URL in the past, and they're gonna have to say like, "Yo, all right, it's worth it to me to do this battle." But I do know that URL is gonna feel some type of way, like in the midst of this, you know. And so that's another thing is putting that pressure on them, like finding those
Pressure
battles
award.
outside
Woo.
of URL, finding those battles outside of URL, knowing that most of the opponents have some kind of loyalty to that brand.
Absolutely. And that's why I feel we'll never get Rock versus Easy. I just feel like we're never gonna get that battle. That's not gonna happen at all.
Yeah, when I did that Hip Hop is Real interview with Eazy, what was it, like a month or two ago?
Mhm.
I don't remember if I asked it publicly or what. I'm like, I thought for a second there was a feeling from him that he would be back on URL one day. That he didn't have the like, but then like over the last course of 6 weeks, I'm like, oh, he done. Oh, it's a wrap.
Wow. So, oh man, when you look at this, right? All these Shine seems unhappy, as had situations. Hollow spoke out. We almost had a strike a couple of years ago that lasted for like 42 minutes and everything like that. Do you sit back and be like, this is why I would never sign a contract?
Yeah. I mean, yes and no. I don't sign. I don't like the contract ideas because at the end of the day, everybody's in it for themselves. Like it's really not like a cultivating family. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you get paid money or whatever. Like, cool, you gave me the opportunity. You put food on my table and stuff like that. But when the rubber meets the road, you in it for yourself. If I'm signed to you, you know what I mean? If whatever looks better for self is always going to take precedence. And so that's kind of why, it's like I'd rather just say, hey, yeah, I agree to that amount. Cool. I'll come there, I'll battle, you pay me that amount, and we'll on to the next one, you know. But like with the whole caffeine and the whole app and everything, like everybody's always checking people's pockets, so they sitting back looking like, yo, URL, bro, you're making bread, you know what I mean? Like you're just putting together a card with 14 one-rounders, you know. That's enough.
I'm not
Enough.
feeling that, Ward. I'm not
That's
feeling
enough
that.
content though for a whole month, right? Like imagine how much that card costs, but it's a content for a whole month, and imagine how much they bringing in for that month.
Right, I
You know what I
got you.
mean? I could release 3 one-rounders a week, give you the content, backlog the app. You know what I mean? So people pocket checking. So that's why they're like, yo, these contracts. Cool. All right, I'll sign a contract. Give me a 3-year contract for $40,000. You know, now we can talk. Or give me a 3 battle contract for $40,000. You know, now we can talk. But I don't think that they're in negotiations like that.
What do you think about Thesaurus' debut on URL as a one-rounder though?
Yeah, so not happy about it being a one-rounder,
At
but don't
all.
want to take away from the idea that Thesaurus is debuting. So at first I was like, man, this is so fire that Thesaurus is making his debut. He's very excited about it. I'm so happy that he could check that off his bucket list or whatever. So I don't want to.
I was happy the culture was happy for him. I
Me
love seeing
too.
that though.
Me too. But yeah, like the whole idea of the one-rounder thing, I was like, man. But I didn't want to like comment on it too much because I just didn't want to put like a negative,
I got you.
spin
I got
on
you.
it. And so
Yeah.
so shout out to the Thesaurus for real, like, and I think him and Holmesy will actually be a really good one-rounder. You know, the last time I saw Holmesy in a one-rounder, I think was against Loso, and Holmesy did really good in that one-rounder against Loso. He has a good, a good style for one-rounders and different things. So I'm excited, and I'm glad they put him as the main event. I'm glad the Source is at the top of the card. You know, they got like a little bit of their own trailer. Like all the announcements happened, and then at the end, it was like
That
some
was
mon-
fire. That was
So I was
hard.
like,
That was
okay,
hard.
cool.
That was hard.
They gave some respect to the legend himself. So I think that I don't know what kind of crowd that'll be, but I think if it's battlers and stuff, everybody's got love and respect for the Source. So I think he's going to show off.
Absolutely.
He's going to do crazy. So.
Well, some of these buffoons on Twitter got mad at me because I said, I don't want to see Thesaurus in a one-round battle on the URL debut. Like, oh, 3, cut it out. Let him get his feet wet. I'm like, bro, feet wet? He's a legend. What are you talking about?
Yeah. That's how I felt too. I'm just like, yo, and I don't know if that was just the only offer for him or what,
Right.
and like I don't know. I mean, it also is like, yo, Thesaurus is a legend. He maybe just wanted to be there for Gnome Weekend, like on stage and have a good time, spend the whole weekend at like one of the URL's biggest events, and so that might just have been the one that he decided to do, you know. But I definitely would have rather seen him 3 rounds, in like a battle that that I don't think doesn't make sense. But I would rather seen him in something a little bit more storyline, a little bit more, hey, we got the Source,
I got love for Holmesy, but should Holmesy be the first person he battled on URL? Were you shocked at that?
Yeah, I was shocked at that. Because Holmesy's not.
That's no strength to Holmesy would ask you that.
He's just not like an active. He's not like an active, a really active battler. And so it's like you bring the Source over and put him up against somebody that's not really actively battling. It just kind of seems like you threw it together. You know what I mean? And it's just like, nah, like give me the Source with 3 rounds. Against an active battler. Somebody who's out here putting in the work. Somebody, I'd love to see Thesaurus and JC. I don't think that JC's battling everybody. Like, why could I know it ain't like JC's not battling, and he's battling whoever. It's like I would have loved to see Thesaurus and JC 3 rounds.
Ilmac too, man. I want to see Ilmac not making a URL debut is crazy to me.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
You know what I mean? Yep. I don't think he's battled since. Who did he battle last? He battled. He's battled since me, definitely. Who's Ilmac battled?
Listen, I spoke to Diz a couple of days ago, right? Diz is working on a card.
Mm-hmm.
And when you hear his next opponent, Ilmac's next opponent, you're going to love it. Trust me.
Oh, fire. Yeah, I think Diz called me for that card. So, yep.
Called you?
Yeah, he called me, said he was working on some stuff. Yeah.
As he should.
Yep. You know what I told him?
What?
I said, I want to do it like the old grind time days where we do the 4th round overtime. Remember how they would vote? They would judge it, and if it was close, you go to 4th round.
Was it hollow pass like that? Hollow awkward?
Yeah. I was like, tell whoever my opponent is, bring a 4th round, or let's have some nostalgia to this,
Right. Were you able to watch the Trenches card at all?
I watched Real Deal and Dub the Phenom. I watched Reed and Eazy, and I watched like half of Enes and Dot, but I didn't get to see Riggs and K Walker.
Give me your thoughts on Real Deal and on Dub the Phenom. I had Real Deal with a 30. You said you had
Yeah,
what?
I had Real Deal with a 30. I like Dub's. I like Dub's character, like his uniqueness or whatever. His bars just don't hit. Don't hit. But he just didn't. He don't rap like everybody else. He's kind of got this weird, like almost like an solo aggressive, like kind of weirdness to him. So I
Yes,
do
yes,
like the
yes.
uniqueness. But his bars just didn't hit. And then he went whole teacher and white dude stuff, and then like that just plays into the hands of a
Man,
guy
we
like
don't
Real
look at
Deal.
A-Ward or Thesaurus or
Yeah,
freaking Real Deal as racist dudes. Y'all gotta stop that shit.
yeah.
Respect this.
Yeah,
Come
so
on, man.
it played into the hands of Real Deal, you know, and then Real Deal has like an epic second round, like a normal Real Deal round where he just takes your line cook thing and just hammers it into the ground. And then, yeah. And then, you know, what? Shout out to my guy Real Deal, but like this is the second battle in a row that he's claimed himself as the sports bar GOAT. So, I mean, I might have to spin the block on Real Deal. Just, you know, he got to stop talking crazy like that, okay? I might have to spin
Real
the block.
Deal. I love you, my dude, but I don't got you with my guy A-Ward when it comes to
Yeah,
sports
I might
bars,
have to
man.
spin the block on my dog Real Deal, you know, to do the rematch, you know.
You know, me and Eazy argue all the time about you as being he argues with me that he is, and I tell him you are, and we always argue about
Oh,
who's the
Eazy thinks he is.
yeah.
Oh no. That man said I'm real. That man said I'm real comfortable playing the 3 like the 6 seed. Hey yo, guess what? Guess what? 3.
You didn't like that?
The 6 seed is not comfortable playing the 3. There's no home field advantage. 77% of the time they lose the series. They would much rather be like it's not comfortable. Like we're not doing that, Eazy.
What's your take on Dot and Enes? And two more questions. Do you think Enes gets his respect also? 2-part question.
Oh yeah, no, Enes is a little bit. He gets a little bit slighted a lot, you know, because all he's done is just been in wars. And man, shout out to them Philly guys, because since Reed came back, all he did is put himself into wars. Enes is out here putting himself into wars. And Enes puts on every time. You know, he's got crazy battles with Big Cannon, Mac Myron, just other guys lately. And so, and he's adapted. You know, he didn't say, "Oh, I'm just gonna stick to this old stuff that I used to do," or whatever. But yeah, I didn't get to see it all, but I know Dot's second round was kind of crazy for a Dot round. And I think that most people
I'm not a Dot fan, but I give Dot his props. I had him win the second round, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, most people have Enes first and third.
Yes, that's what I had it.
I turned that mug on. He was wearing 2 hats. I was like, oh, I don't know what's going on right now. I was like, but you know, maybe it's a Philly thing.
And what's your take on the main event?
I thought it was good. So I thought the card was great. I thought the look, the feel, everything was great. The main event I thought it was good. You know, I didn't necessarily think Eazy's performance was like spectacular, and I thought Reed was cool. You know, I like Reed. Reed, he kept saying I'm gonna lose my voice, but it also seemed like his breath control wasn't there too. Like it seemed like he was barely delivering like 2 and 4 bar punches. You know, but you know he has some good stuff. Eazy has some good stuff. I really like the whole like your jaw wired. They got to pick money up. You know, like or whatever. Like that whole thing was super fire. I like some of the personals that they dipped into. Like he didn't get too personal, but you know he's talking to him about the RBE stuff. I was like, okay, cool. It didn't make it seem like it was a friendly match. I had Eazy winning. Eazy's just a better battle rapper, you know, at this point. You know, when you're battling a guy like Reed, who's kind of like a legend, but like, you know, kind of doing what he does and kind of cruising through on cruise control. You know, normally the better battle rapper wins just based off of like how you attack things, how you deliver things and stuff. So I had Eazy winning it. But I don't think it was a 30. I think I gave Reed, I don't know if it was like the first. I made it was the first or something that I edged Reed. Yeah. But I gave Eazy to win overall.
Okay. You battled Reed Dollaz years ago. Can you what's your recollection of that battle when you and Reed battled?
I love that battle, man. You know, he's one of my favorite of all time. Love my material. Man, just yeah, it was such a good battle, and he was cooking. You know, he had the fans going crazy. You know, I didn't know he recycled his third until you know the day or two later. But you know, in the moment, like he going through that Philly flow and stuff like that, and you're like, oh yeah, let's go. You know, and just like such a good sport, man. Such a good dude. Can't say nothing but good things about Reed for real. Like I mean. I don't know what the issue is ARP and RBE or whatever, if that's like a real thing or whatever. Like I've always had nothing but good things to say about Reed.
Okay. Last question here, man. What you got going on next? Anything going on next that you can talk, or maybe you can't talk about, or can you? I don't
Nah,
know.
man, I just got locked in for a big battle, so I'm excited for that. I've been called for a couple other ones. Like I said, Disaster reached out to me. Hopefully they're working on some stuff. Organic reached out to me. King of the Dots working on some stuff. I'm back with the Poets and Autumn tour again this year. That starts in September, so we just got done filming some stuff in Atlanta for that. And then right now, I'm battling Loso here in 2 weeks in Tampa. So you know we both came to the agreement we needed like a good 3-round battle on our resume for Cody. So like why not just go ahead and just battle each other?
Is that weird to battle also? Is it weird?
Nah. It's just it's like anything else. Like I don't really get personal heavily with like my opponents anyway. I'm not digging up dirt or nothing like that.
Sir. You can.
I can. Hopefully Loso's dog don't run away the night before, because I've been known to like go crazy on a situation like that or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, no. So I think it's just gonna be, a matchup where, bars, schemes, punches, like a Rum Nitty and Geechee, Or they pretty much brothers too, and they put on.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna be the 4th time they battled here in a minute, like with the 2-on-2s.
I don't want to see Geechee and Rum no more. I don't want to see that. I'm so tired of that, man. But Ward, man, we definitely gonna talk it up. I guess whenever your next battle is, hopefully we can talk it up. You know what I mean? Chop it up again. Right?
Yep. Just let me know, man.
I appreciate you, Ward.
You already know, man. I'll talk to you later, bro.
My brother.
Peace.